Alright, so the premiere was last night. Luckily I was able to watch it because I got off of work early, so thank you God. There are going to be spoilers here. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it and then watch this. Right off the bat, I'm kind of shocked that Rob didn't tell Sandra that he was going to play while he was on the Island of the Idols. I have a feeling that he's going to explain why. It's possible that he wanted to talk it over with Amber first. But it's interesting because Sandra is very, very bitter about that. But The Edge of Extinction is back, which honestly I'm super excited about because there's so many players, so many awesome players that like I don't want them to go if they're voted off early. You know, this way, like even if someone is voted off, like they can still be a part of the show. I'm pretty shocked that they left the tribes to be arranged by chance. Like I figured that Jeff was gonna, you know, like have it all planned out, and you know they just picked it out of a hat, which I'm, you know, surprised about. But that's just an example of, you know, how it's not staged and anything can happen in this game. Yul, who is the winner from Cook Islands, he brought up this poker alliance thing, which basically, and they showed on the episode that a couple of players had played a poker game like a year ago, and you know Tyson made this, you know, joking comments about if they were ever on the island again that they would all be in an alliance, and Yul saw that, and now he's using that to his advantage, which I think is super smart. I don't think, you know, there's any real basis to that, but if you can put a target on anybody else's back besides your own, then, you know, that's the way to go, honestly. It's interesting to see how a lot of outside alliances are coming into play, you know. It's almost like Hunger Games catching fire when like all of the winners, you know, like many of them already knew each other, and so they were going into the game with these almost like preset alliances, and that's really an element that I think hasn't been a part of the game before. I am so happy that Parvati and Rob are partnering up. I really hope that both of them will last a long time. I think that, you know, if they stick together, that would be the most like intense power alliance. That would be super cool. I thought it was super funny how Ben just ratted out Danny like right off the bat. I would also be starstruck by Rob. I don't know about you, but I'm happy that he's said something because I didn't want Rob to go out first. And it's funny because, you know, Rob was, you know, because Danny was being open with him, then he was willing to be in an alliance with her, which I thought was really almost, it's strange, but it makes sense because, you know, then you know that she's being honest with you. Like if she's honest enough to tell you that she's going to vote you out, then she'll be honest with you with anything. So obviously paranoia is a huge element of every season, but I have a feeling it's going to be way more intense this season just from this episode. Typically people don't get this paranoid this early, and people were just freaking out. I also found it interesting how nobody wanted to say a name. After they lost, they're all trying to figure out who to vote out. Like, you know, they kind of have an either or, you know, either Adam or Denise or Jeremy or Natalie, and no one wants to speak up and say something. It's like nobody wants to be in control, which is strange compared to other seasons. I don't really like that they voted out Natalie. They stirred things up too early when they didn't have to. If they would have stuck with Jeremy and Natalie in their alliance, then they would have had the numbers. But now I'm concerned that because they've already proven to part of their alliance that they're kind of doing their own thing, that they could be on the chopping block next. They both already have such a huge target on them. The second immunity challenge was one of the most intense challenges ever seen. You can have your own opinions about Rob and whether you can like him as a player or not, but he literally single-handedly like was throwing people over that barrel. Like, snaps to him. Like, you know, he was giving everything that he had, and that definitely helped them win. Also, Jeremy's tossing skills are like on par, so that also helped, of course. Now, unfortunately, because Rob's tribe won the second immunity challenge, the other tribe went to tribal council, obviously, where unfortunately Amber was voted off. I am super sad about that. Luckily, there is still Extinction Island, Island of Extinction. Well, and so she does have a chance to get back in the game. I really hope that happens. I'm happy that it's there because I don't want her to, you know, leave. Like, I want to see her play more. I'm kind of shocked that they voted her off because I felt like she was playing a much lower key game. I feel like they just voted her off just because she is Rob's wife, which I understand, but that can also be a benefit if you're working with Rob, and I just feel like there are honestly bigger threats out there other than Amber. But anyway, I want to hear what all you guys think. What were your favorite moments? Were you happy about who got voted off? Were you sad? I'm really excited for next week. So leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe. And I will be making a video next week to talk about next week's episode.